Welcome back to Speaking in Abundance, where we think abundance, we operate in abundance, we walk in abundance. Everything about us is abundant. If you don't get it by now, you will never get it. It's about just being happy in all things, just being prosperous, just being all good. I'll say that. Just everything, every area in your life, it's all good at this point. What are we talking about today? Never broke again. Never broke again. It's not quite what you think I'm going to talk about today. It's actually not about money. A lot of people think of if you say never broke again, it's about being always having money in your bank account. Yeah, I want you to have a little cash in your account because that's a part of being abundant. But it's about being broken as a person, never being broke again. There is a secret. There is a method. Guess what? I'm going to also bring you into my personal life in a little bit to let you know how I dealt with being broken as a person. How did I overcome it? And what was my plan and my strategies in not being a broken person? Because I realized what we do as a people is we give our power away to people. We do that, and not knowing that we do that, but we do that. We say, here, I'm going to give you my happiness. We give our happiness to people and say, hey, turn this on for me. That is the biggest mistake that we do as a person, saying something that should be internal. We should, we are in control of our own happiness. Nobody has the power to make us happy. I know we like relationships and friendships and family ships. We want happiness from people. But guess what? That's too much power. We are in control of our own happiness. If we are not happy, it is our fault. I know that may sting a little bit. I know it may hurt a little bit. But if we're not overall happy, it's our fault. Nobody is in control of our happiness. Nobody has that power to make us happy. Yeah, you can make me giggle a little bit, or you can make me feel good for a moment, or you can make me smile, or you can do something really, really nice. And I'd be like, oh man, thank you. But you do not have the power to make me happy. That is a crystal thing. That is a personal thing. We give people things. We say, here, please turn this on for me in this marriage. Here, turn this on for me in this relationship. Turn this on for me in this friendship. We give our power away. When we do not take control of our own happiness, guess what? It leaves us broken. You give people your stuff. You give people your things, your emotion, and they do not take care of it the way we expect them to. It leaves us broken. So here is how you do not end up being broke again. You have to take control over your own happiness. Hello, lights. Take control over your own happiness. You have to make yourself happy. Nobody's in charge of making you happy. You cannot control people. You cannot control what they think, what they do, their emotions, how they handle you. You cannot control it. People have a free will. God has even given us a free will to go as we please. So guess what? If we're that way with God, guess how we're going to be with man. You cannot give people your peace and your happiness and expect them to turn it on for you. You have to work on yourself. This is why we're always sad and depressed when people don't do the things we want them to do. Because we have our expectation for people. The bar is way too high. We should put that same expectation on ourselves and work on us, work on our things, work on our happiness. Do the things that we need to do internally to make ourselves happy. Nobody is in control of no other person. Okay? So if you're not happy, it's not their fault. It is your fault because they do not have that power to make you happy. Nobody in this world can make us happy. If we're not already happy, no matter what they do, what they say, or how they operate, can turn this thing called happiness on within ourselves. If we're having a bad day, nobody can come in a room and say, hey, have a good day, and you're already having a bad day inside. It's not going to turn on just like that. We're not in control of people. I once was watching a movie, and it was strange to me. The lady was actually in a relationship with a married man. And in this particular story, the married man lived in a foreign country, and he took his girlfriend to meet his wife. And the girlfriend did not understand how the wife was able to accept the relationship between the two. She had a conversation with her. She said, how are you? I'm okay with me dating your husband, she said. How are you okay with this? She said, I'm fine. You haven't done anything to me personally. The only thing you did was to make my husband happy. You might not want to try that over here in America. Amen. She said, the only thing you did was to make my husband happy. We do not have control over people. I can't tell him to date you or not. So that thing, I was like, wow, we don't have control over people. We don't. We cannot control what people do from this day to the next. So guess what? We can't make people love us. We can't make people be faithful to us. We cannot make people be committed to us. We cannot make people turn this thing called happiness and gratitude and satisfaction, the button that we have. We cannot put it in their hand to cut these things on for us. Okay, sometimes the people that we want to operate a certain way, they just do not have it. They do not have it to give to us. So, but we love them unconditionally. So what is it that we need to do? Make some adjustments. For me, I was in this one relationship, and I mean, that relationship broke me. Ooh, Jesus, it broke me into pieces. And I was like, I never want to feel that way again. I gave the power of my happiness to someone else. I gave my smile to someone else. I gave my identity and my being to someone else to say, hey, I'm going to give you me, take care of me, make sure I'm always happy. And they did not do that for me. In return, he broke me into pieces, shattered my whole being. I didn't even know who I was anymore. My identity, everything that I have become, everything that I have built, broken down into pieces. I had to gather myself, build myself back up and say, oh my God, Crystal, how did you give somebody that much of you and they just broke you into pieces? And I said to myself, never again will I feel that way. And I'm not saying that I would never love again. What I had to do was readjust my thinking, readjust the way I processed relationships and connections with people, because I never wanted to be that broke again. So what I had to do was take control of the thing that I gave him, the thing that I said I wanted him to do for me, because he could not make me happy. He was brought up different from me. He was raised different from me. I don't know if he was raised up in love or survival, because you got those kind of people. And the people that's raised up in survival, it's kind of hard for them to love. They are broken people a little bit, because they have childhood trauma and childhood neglects, and they was raised a certain way. So you kind of have to be careful with those kind of people. Them kind of people you don't want to really give your stuff to. So listen to me, there is a way not to be broken. You have to be whole within yourself. You have to do the things to make you smile. You have to do the things that it's going to fill those voids within yourself. People are not void fillers. We're not here to be fixers when we're in certain relationships. When we have to make ourselves happy in order to be happy with it in the situation that we in. We can't be broken friends and expect our friends to fix us all the time. No, we all hanging out and you walking around depressed and sad and angry and don't want to do anything and don't want to go anywhere and never like anything that nobody's doing because you're broken. You're expecting the environment to adjust to you. No, we have to be internally already happy in ourselves before we enter into any situation. So never being broke again, we have to take control of our happiness, take control of our emotions, take control of our own feelings. Go out and just do the things that we need to do to be happy. I can't expect somebody else to do that for me. It's a Crystal thing. You can't expect somebody else to do those things for you. It's a you thing. You can't say, here, turn this smile on for me. You have to get up every day, walk in your abundance, and make yourself smile. Make yourself smile. Stop depending on people to make you happy. People have choices. People have lives. People have free will to do what they want to do with respect of the situation. But guess what? If they don't do it, will you be broken forever? If they don't love you the way that you expect them to love you, will you be broken forever and always searching for different relationships? If that friendship never satisfy you completely, will you always be looking for different friends to get a certain feeling? If that setup, if that ministry or that job never really makes you happy, will you always go from job to job and church to church, relationship to relationship, looking for happiness? You can't. Because what you have to do is examine you and figure out a way to make yourself happy. Nobody can make you happy. It is impossible. They can only make you feel good for a moment, for a second. They can only insert happiness, a feel of happiness, I would say, on you for a moment. And if you're not already happy, what they do for you would not even matter. So take your power back from people, things, and take your power back. Take it back. Take it back. You are in control of your happiness. Stop blaming people for what they don't do for you and to you. Have enough power and authority over your own self, over your own life, over your own things. Take control. Stop blaming other people for your happiness, your failure in happiness. It is up to you. They do not have what you need. But if you love them, if you love that thing unconditionally, you will look at yourself and examine yourself and examine your own surroundings and say, hey, maybe I need to get a little more busy, or maybe I need to take better care of myself. Maybe I need to fix myself up and make myself happy. I'm no longer blaming people for breaking me because I gave them that power. I gave them that authority. I gave them that part of me and said, hey, turn this on, when it should have already been on before I entered into that situation. Never broke again. Being abundant, never broke again. Do not expect people to make you happy. Make yourself happy. Live in your abundance, and I pray that this message penetrated your heart. I pray it penetrated your mind and your life so that you can take this and reevaluate yourself and say, you know what? I'm taking my power back. I'm taking my happiness back from people. I'm taking my happiness back from that thing. And I'm going to live in my abundance. Okay? Listen to me. Share this video with somebody. Share it with a friend that you know may be struggling with happiness because they're looking on the outside when they really need to be looking on the inside and making themselves happy. Never broke again. No matter what. Be happy. All right? I love you and I see you being happy being abundant. We think abundant. We walk abundant. We live abundantly.